August 8th, 2016. This is Maelstrom Radio.
Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Flex and Shinter.
And welcome everybody to Maelstrom Radio. I am your host, Flatus, and with me, as always, are my two co-hosts. I have with me the one man that is sassier than Oprah giving away free cars, super entertained himself, Carrie,
Hello.
and the man that wishes he was the Canadian Oprah, Shinter.
Hi.
How's it going, guys? How has your gaming week been since last we talked?
Still have yet to do the anti-tower.
I think we should get on that. That's a pretty fun one.
It's been a month.
It has been a month. We have, but we've
Not
been
surprised on
helping.
this one.
We've been helping a lot of new people.
We
I've
have.
had a lot of people join and
Yeah,
catch up insanely fast.
I'm not saying it's an uptick due to this show, but we've been getting people to join us for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like a slow spread. It's not like a cult or anything, but it is like a slow spreading virus, where it's like
Not a
you
We're
know,
not a cult.
We're not a cult. Although there could be punch and pie involved someplace. We've done a lot of crap this week. We did so many. Shin and I started doing what is considered the path of least resistance with the yokais.
Yes, the yokai grind.
The yokai grind. So far, we've collected all of the Shogunyan legendary medals. We're working on Whisper, and then we are aiming towards going like the last three are gonna be like Blizzara, Venanoct, and one other, maybe Manjamut. They're all in
USA
USA Palm.
Beyond. Yeah, that one.
They're all in like what was it, Northern Danilin or something like that.
They're in a place with lots of easy fates.
Lots of easy fates, so getting 30 legendary tokens of each is not gonna be that hard.
It's not easy, so get on my level.
Oh jeez.
Get on our level. Come on. Anti-tower.
Yeah.
I know.
I fought Nidhogg. I fought a dragon. So let's go right into it. Let's get right into the first bit of news. There is a new Tales of the Dragonsong War out. We'll discuss. I've read it today on my lunch break at work, and I want to talk about it a little bit. It's one thing that I think a lot of MMOs should keep doing. Warcraft does it a lot. They do a lot more than Final Fantasy. Is there's these external like lore tidbits that they offer, and these are the stories of the Dragonsong War that we're getting. It's funny that technically in game the Dragonsong War is now over, but we're still getting these, and they're all planned out. They're all timed out. If you go to the website, which I unfortunately did not grab the link, but I do have it here. I will link it in chat. They are all timed out. Like 8/12. So in 4 days we'll get the next one. 8/19 we'll get the one after that, and the very last one comes out on August 26th. Now, August 26th is also the last day of the CI rolled right in. Well, I'm rolling. I'll move things around. Rolled right into the ending of the Moonfire Fair event ends that day. So if you've not gone and gotten your Power Rangers poses, What the hell is stopping you? It's so easy, and it's a nice break from some other fun things in the game. So I had a blast. What did you guys think of it?
I enjoyed it. Like,
I almost thought it was a little too short, but at the same time, I liked the length of it. Like it wasn't anything that didn't have to spend a long time grinding or getting through things, but at the same time, it was very very quick to complete the entire event.
I
y-
I I agree.
yeah, it was like it was satisfying to get to the end. Like
Yeah,
finish it within what 20 minutes and be able to get everything, and you can still grind and get the other things, which I'm not really interested in. So
Yeah. It was a nice little quick little story, and you're like, hey, I got a suit, and you can buy the other armor pieces. But I got the orchestrion roll, and I got the dance moves or the poses, and I'm pretty much set. I think I'm set. Maybe go get a firefly lamp and put a Lalafell in there, but that's pretty much it. So, one more piece of news. Final Fantasy XIV will be at Gamescom in Cologne, Germany, from August 17th to August 21st. They will be out there. They will have the I Beat Thoradin shirts, I Beat Sephiroth shirts, and the newly added I Beat Nidhogg shirts. Now, with Nidhogg, it's a little different. I Beat Nidhogg, you have to do live on stage. So, and if you've known anything in the past about any of these I Beat shirts, um, you get a wheel and you spin the wheel, and you may have to be like it may have to be extreme Nidhogg, or it may have to be that you have nothing but black mages, or you may only have to get one tank. Like there's very special um, rule sets that you have to use, so you earn that shirt. Um, I'm sure they'll have all these shirts over at FanFest, and so I will be adding to my wardrobe because I will try to attempt to get all of them, including they also have Feast shirts and Shatter shirts, I believe, and then Quest like challenge log shirts. I'm not even sure how that one works. I don't know if you try to have to fill out the whole, do the whole challenge log in one day and just try to finish it. That seems like a lot,
that's a lot.
right? Like that seems like a lot, unless there's like a special like challenge log there that you have to do.
yeah,
I guess we'll find.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. And of course, we'll be paying attention to any news that we get from Gamescom, and we will bring that to you live here on Maelstrom Radio. So we're gonna roll right into our main talking points. Before we get into the Warriors Light a history, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Dragon Song War Tale that I read. Um, this one was kind of cool. The title of it was "What Remains of a Knight," and it was about Sir Vandreau de Rochamond, a very reverend archimand. In other words, he was one of the Knights of the Heaven's Ward, one of the 12, and personally he guarded Theoden himself. And he was 70 years old, so he was one of the oldest Knights of 12. So he was one of the like just as old as Thorin, and he was there when they fought Nidhogg. So he was one of the original, and he would guard Theoden when he would do his solitary prayers in the garden. So he would just keep watch. And one day he was hearing not normal prayers. He was hearing talking, which is like, well, the man goes into a garden by himself. Who is he talking to? If not God, who? So he comes to find a man in a hooded cloak, and he's like, well, then that's a conspirator. So he went to go face Theoden, and he met an Ascian instead, and him and that Ascian tussled, and that old man gave that Ascian a good fight. So, but Roshamond did not make it out alive, and actually it was a cover-up. They said he went to go say he retired after 70 years of service, and then said he took a pilgrimage, and nobody, his squire and everybody that knew him, that anybody who was training under him was very shocked because he was a man of the night, and said that nothing is greater than to serve your king and to serve your master. So it's an interesting tale. All of these are great. Through Fire and Blood, the Dreamer and the Dream, Vows Unbroken, and For Coin and Country. These are all great stories, and I'm interested in reading the rest of them. So if you like lore and you're in so deep into the Heavensward lore, I would suggest go reading these because they are very cool stories about the Dragon Song War itself. stuff that we may have not gotten in game. So I know sometimes we don't always get lore we seek in game, or maybe there is some like, why did this happen, or why is this like a little tidbit out there. So speaking of lore, we decided that it would be interesting to give you guys, when there's a lull in news and not a lot of stuff to talk about, we thought that here at Maelstrom, what we could do is go back through the history of Final Fantasy games and how it seems that Final Fantasy XIV is a hub world for all Final Fantasy games. Not like, and almost to a point where it's almost canon. Like the Crystal Towers here. Of course, we get Greg Gilgamesh, who is a dimension. Greg, who's a dimension hopper nonetheless, and ended up here. Like it's something that we don't think about until you remember playing one of the older games and being like, man, I remember him falling through a dimension hole. Where did he end up? And he even says, he's like, last thing I remember is falling through a portal and I ended up here. So very
without his precious Enkidu.
Yeah, Enkidu did not make the cut.
Yeah, it's a lot of common recurring themes among each game,
which is cool.
Yeah,
which I like. So, Warriors of Lights have been a common recurring theme in Final Fantasy throughout the years. Warriors of Light are usually the main characters that the players control throughout the duration of the game. And the Warrior of Light shows up in Final Fantasy 3, 4, Lightning Returns 13, 14, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, Final Fantasy The Four Heroes of Light, Bravely Default, Final Fantasy Dimensions, and Dissidia Final Fantasy. Dissidia 12 Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy All the Bravest. So the Warrior of Light is a character that is just iconic in the world of Final Fantasy, and something that and for the players that may have just joined this because like, man, I came from WoW and I don't really know Final Fantasy, or a good example, Shin, who played EQ2 and never played a Final Fantasy game in his life. Warrior of Light to him is just like what it is in this game. But really, the Warrior of Light, for me, for example, like I played Final Fantasy 1 and I was like, dude, Warriors of Light sound dope.
I played Final Fantasy 1 too. It's the only other one that I've played so far.
We get you. They're all on Steam. We'll get you. We'll get you covered.
Play them all.
I'm waiting for 15 to come out.
That's going to be a good one. I hope.
We'll do a whole show eventually about that one, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. If depending on news in this game, yes. There's a lot of stuff coming out in September. I'm sorry to sidetrack us real quick, but real quick, there's a lot. Like 15 is coming out in September. Possibly 3.4 is coming out in September. And on top of it, something else is coming out as well.
Yokai 2.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yokai 2. I think No Man's Sky is coming out.
That's
this
tomorrow.
month.
That's tomorrow. PC's next week. Tomorrow. What's that other game that everyone plays? But not a lot of people anymore. But maybe a lot of people are gonna. Oh, Warcraft. Legion's coming out the August 30th.
Oh.
That's the thing.
Isn't Kingsglaive also supposed to be coming out August 30th?
Yeah, August 19th in select theaters,
Yeah.
30th on digital market.
Yeah, we don't talk about that because it's not coming to Canada as far as I've heard so far. So I'm a
Coming to
little bit angry.
Orlando. I'm so excited.
Is
I
it
got my
Orlando?
ticket.
Damn it.
I can't come out to Orlando. It's a little bit far for a day.
Everyone convene to me. Let's go.
It's not here.
Oh, 3-hour drive, Pete.
It's not where.
It's a lot. It's a lot closer to you than it is to me.
I'll just wait. I'll wait the day. I'll wait until the 30th and watch it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wait till it comes out.
You might have to. It's fine. That's both
September
of us.
30th.
Yeah. See, even Donkatron said in chat, Warcraft. Boo.
Warcraft.
Boo. So, Warriors of Light are also called by many other names, such as Light Warriors, Warriors of the Light, Knights of Light, and Heroes of Light. In Final Fantasy XIV, we're also called the Warriors of the Light. I don't think we've been. We've been called Heroes of Light as well from other certain NPCs are called as Heroes of Light. So like these names are reoccurring, and we'll constantly get them. So that's not too shabby. But I like that they're dedicated to making sure that this is all carried over.
They're very, very specific with their lore, and they're very meticulous about getting each part of it right. Like, you don't want to suddenly bring in something that, oops, that doesn't make sense with the rest of the games, or it kind of all has to fit together in some way.
Yes. So the basic lore of the Warriors of Light. There is always 4 heroes. Well, in the mainline even though Final Fantasy XIV is a mainline Final Fantasy game, in the single player mainline Final Fantasy games, there's usually 4 heroes are chosen by the crystals, be it by prophecy, at will, or by fate, to embark on the dangerous journey to fight evil and restore balance to the world. Common amongst the Warriors of Light are that they travel. They travel crystal to crystal based on 4 elements to try to save them from the chaos. Sometimes they succeed and bring light to the crystal. Sometimes they will fail. Other times they're just collecting crystals for themselves, because crystal collectors. And usually each time the crystal is saved, obtained, they gain the ability to switch jobs. It becomes stronger. These are all things we see in Final Fantasy. Even Final Fantasy 11, I booted up and watched that first cutscene. It was a big old crystal. It is a big thing in Final Fantasy.
Now, well, real quick, backtracking to one thing. It does say that it's usually 4 characters, but if you think about it, when we're in a party, we're called a light party. Like I feel like that's kind of like alluding to that. And usually in the main games, which I don't want to like go ahead, but there's usually 4 warriors of light, but there's also 4 warriors of darkness. And in some of the games, they actually team up together, and then there's 8 of them, and that's considered like our full party. So it's kind of like that's kind of interesting that it's kind of like little
Holy shit.
yeah.
Damn, that is deep. I didn't even think about it that way, but that is deep. that's some stuff to go through.
Yep.
Fucking Final Square Enix just blew my mind a little bit. Just like there's the Warriors of Light, there's also the opposing team. Some games refer to as the Warriors of Darkness. And as we just learned, if you're playing through the story, the Warriors of Darkness have been introduced in the Heavensward part of the game. We don't have much with them yet, but we will get something with them soon, I have a feeling. There's been a little.
Do you know that they don't like us?
They don't. They're at first when they introduced. I remember that scene with Ravana, and I was like, "What's going on here?" They're just like, Psh, "We got this, fools." They're like, "Boom, Zodiark." I was like, "Oh, Zodiark." After Crystal Tower, this guy's gonna be flipping. He knows what's up. So the Warriors of Light in Final Fantasy XIV are stated to be the band of adventurers, us, the players, that help protect the city-states from the Eorzean Alliance during the events leading up to the Seventh Umbral Era, which we are now. What are we in the seventh? No, we're not Umbral. We're in Astral Era now, currently. Even though there's been a lot of terrible shit in this Astral Era, so. I don't know what's going on with that, but apparently, according to Koji Fox, which is the localization guy, this is true. We're still in a astral, so we're still in the upside instead of the umbral. They took to the field during the Battle of the Plains of Mordona, and most were lost during the unleashing of Bahamut. So Bahamut. If you haven't seen that first initial cutscene from A Realm Reborn, go back, open your launcher, before you hit character selection screen. I believe there's an option to see cinematics. Go watch that video. 1, it's awesome. 2, that's how Final Fantasy 14 1.0 ended. So imagine counting down server, and you're sitting there, and it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all you get is that cutscene. Yeah, right. And you get that You get that final cutscene before the servers go dark. I would have flipped shit. I would have been like, "Oh my god!" Trying to be like, "What happened?" And then it's like, "We'll see you soon." I was like, "Oh my god." So, their name derives from the fact that whenever people try to remember them, all they can remember is the silhouette surrounded by a blinding light. The characters were created in Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 have a special tattoo on their back that can be seen by typing in /Lmark. It can only be obtained by being a legacy player. Indicates they are one of the Warriors of Light. Um, those legacy players also have the different intro when starting a new game, appearing in a flash of light and walking to their chosen city state, and there are minor edits to the text of some quest. Damn, that's deep shit. I almost bought original Final Fantasy 14 box, like the 1.0 box. I played beta and I was like, this is broken as shit.
I know. I played beta too, and I'm so sad that doesn't carry over to
Yeah.
this.
I almost wanted to buy one and just like log it in when the legacy was still getting the stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I should have done it. I should have done it. Like they were on because the game wasn't doing well at that time, and people were selling them super cheap on Amazon. I was like, I could have gotten the damn box set for $30. Now, all of a sudden, when Final Fantasy 14 2.0 launched and it was like booming, people were like, these are now $80.
Yeah.
I'm like, you get sucked. They receive a chocobo whose beak has been branded with the same mark, implying that there was the original chocobo from a previous era. Near completion of the main plot, the Scions of Seventh Dawn, all player characters, i.e. including those in the Realm Reborn, are referred to as Warriors of Light by the leaders of the Grand Companies. The player character is referred to as a Warrior of Light specifically by Heidelin. Heidelin is a big crystal, if you don't remember her. She cool. She talks to us. That's kind of cool. Can talk. Let's see. We actually we have a note in here. Heidelin. There's so much. I don't want to go deep into Heidelin. But I do want to say that Heidelin will probably get her own show, and maybe some of the other crystals, because
because there's other crystals.
Like Lux,
there are. That's all I remember.
Yeah. So I know we have the two main crystals in this game. We have Heidelin and Zodiark, and we will probably talk more about that at a later date. So the Warriors of Darkness. So just like there are the Warriors of Light, there are the exact opposite, the Warriors of Darkness. So very much a good versus evil, where there's light, there's darkness. If you see there is a Warrior of Light, good chance there's going to be also the Warriors of Darkness. Just like the Warriors of Light, the Warriors of Darkness appear in some, but not all, but not many of the games. Their stories are all about balance between the light and the dark. And that's not to say that light equals good and dark equals bad. And also, I want my co-host to stop writing and things because they've thrown me the hell off. Stop typing in there. If you by any chance, if you need to, speak up. Given the name, one would think that they are villains, but it's not always the case. Warriors of Darkness and Final Fantasy XIV are in a group of 5 antagonists from Final Fantasy XIV. Their dark-sided counterpart, the Warriors of Light, all of them share the same physical appearances of those same adventures in the cinematic cutscenes. Isn't that weird? Isn't that a little bit odd, isn't it?
It is.
So, the these names are great. So the members of the Warriors I'm skipping a little bit. I'll go back. I'm gonna skip a little bit because I want to read their names. The members of the Warriors of Darkness. Male Hierin Warrior, the group's leader. There's Blanhairs, the male Rogan Paladin, female Mikote Bard, male Elzen Black Mage, and female Lalafelian White Mage.
So yeah, we only know one of their names, and that's the Paladin. I have no idea why we don't know any of the others' names yet. Yeah.
So the higher warrior acts as the leader and the representative of the group as a whole, appearing alongside Elidibus in several scenes. Story in the past, the Warriors of Darkness fought the Ascians before later forming an alliance with them. In response to the adventurers' actions of the Warriors of Light, resulting in the complete destruction of Nabrialis. I'm going to mess up that guy's name. It starts with an I, so I'm going to say Igorim. That's terrible.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. And Lahabrea Elidibus decides to summon the Warriors of Darkness as a counterbalance. The Warriors of Darkness make themselves known in the smoldering wastes as the Lost Nath defeating Ravana. If you have not seen that scene, they go in there and just like fucking they do the old southpaw on Ravana, and that's it. They throw a haymaker and he's gone. And we show up, we're like, fuck. Because, you know, the Vath are like, hey, yo, they're like, Ravana's back. We're like, oh, we'll take care of it. No worries.
We break in the first time.
No, we do. We do. We go in there and we're like, we got this. It's cool. And then, but then we go. They're like, hey guys, you want to go help out again? We show up and they're like, we got this. It's kind of like an '80s movie. Where, like, you go do something cool, but then there's like a new guy at school and he does something even cooler than you, but like just a little bit, and then like you're like, damn, he's so cool. I got nothing. Go watch Grease. I got nothing after that. So the leader, the Hiren warrior, was about to attack the adventurer when Thancred intervened, forcing the Warriors of Darkness to fall back. Because Thancred is a boss with his beard. The Warrior of Darkness is seen briefly in the epilogue of Heavensward after King Thoradin has fallen, being sent by Elidibus to stop the Warrior of Light to restore the balance of light and dark. The Warriors of Darkness officially appear in patch 3.1, defeating Ravana at the Smoldering Wastes. They turn their attention to the Scions and the Warrior of Light, but are interrupted by familiar hire and flee after revealing they are and warning that they will meet again. Now, I'm gonna stop right there. These guys, we've not gotten, like, we've seen them in cutscenes, and if you've played the Nidhogg scene, you've seen a little bit more of their story. They are clearly coming up, and I'm not sure if we'll even fight them this expansion. I don't think we will.
I don't believe so either.
I have a strong feeling that I think the Warriors of Darkness and Ala Mhigo is all gonna. That almost fits. Like, I feel like all of it's gonna come together in Ala Mhigo. And from what we remember of Ala Mhigo is still offside of the desert, but it's the coastal, so there's water there. I wonder if we'll get swimming or some sort of ability to go under. I think there's gonna be some sort of underwater temple we'll have to go to.
Let's not make this Guild Wars 2 now.
Well, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I don't know. I mean, can you think of? I mean, it would make sense, but we haven't, like, there's 2 more dragons we haven't seen, and I know we're not gonna see them this expansion. I don't know where they're at, but they ain't here. So I don't know. I just have a feeling that the Warriors of Darkness are playing a long game because they currently have a lot of power at their disposal, and ain't good stuff. So going back to that, the Warriors appear with Elidibus speaking with Urianger at the Great Gulwal Library after sensing that someone may be eavesdropping. The Warriors of Darkness share a resemblance of Midlander Hire Poster Boy. By the way, if you didn't know, the Midlander Here Poster Boy is the name of the guy in the videos. So
that's his official name.
Yeah. So, if anybody in game wants to change their name to Midlander Here Poster Boy, let me know. Who is depicted in all the promotional material, cutscenes, videos cannot use the player's character as the Warrior of Light. There is, I went through that pretty quick because I feel like that's the history, and I think that at least us 3 could discuss parts of it. See, I take a show, you create me something, Carrie, by the way, who produced this whole episode. Also have pictures, and I'm going to show those in a second.
Yeah.
But I do want to discuss some key points that I like going through this. Do you feel since this game, like, we know there's a big part of this game is the story, but there's also other Warriors of Light. Like, do you think that will change, like, where it's, because there's the Warriors of Darkness, but we are the Warrior of Light. It's always like, hey man, good job, you did it, and then it's like, well, no, me and my friends did. Like, they're always like, go gather some friends, and it's like, well, are they not Warriors of Light either? Also, that brings me up Hildebrand. Is Hildebrand a Warrior of Light? Because that dude never dies. That dude.
It's a warrior of inquiry.
I mean, he survived the suplex from Godbert like 3 times at least.
So did Vivi.
That's also true. He also survived a clothesline from from Phoebe or Gigi.
GG.
Gigi. They on the moon, bitch. I don't. I don't think so because that would like the story would be more focused on the world and not us. I agree, Donk. I agree with you. I think they make a big point to make sure that the story is focused on us and not the not everyone else. Actually, I can use Warcraft as an example. Warcraft does that. It's what they do because that's how they focus their game. Is that they focus the game on the outside story. Like you'll there would be parts in the game where you like do a quest and you'll take over like a main story quest character and you'll play as that character because the story isn't about you. You just go do the shit. You do the dirty work. Like you're just like, hey man, I need you to go, like, there's always a poop quest in WoW. Like, that's just WoW given at this point. There's always a poop quest. So, like, one of the first quests or, like, some of the later quests is like, hey, man, can you go collect some shit? Or, hey, I need you to, like, get me out of this shit. Hey, dude, see that shit over there? Pick up that shit. And I'm like, man, I'm doing some shit quests. Here, I've not touched fecal matter once in this goddamn not one time. And I am thankful for that. Like,
You have had your hands covered in oil a few times, though.
I'd rather rub down an old man than touch fecal matter any day of the week. So, that's now out in the ether. Welcome, it's your job. There you go, internet. Take that and do with that what you will. I want that as a song by next week. So we know that I'm gonna go into some lore, like some of the Final Fantasy XIV lore. So we know that the history of the Warriors of Light, that we are the band of adventurers, knowing where we're at currently in the game, we know that Ala Mhigo is taken over by the Garleans. There is Una Kalhai, who is the young boy who has a weird connection with the Garleans currently. Because he clearly knows, what's his name? I can't, Shin, do you know his name? Mr. Glowface with the gunblade? I know Una Kalhai his name.
Not coming to me,
It's a
nope.
dope name. It's Una Kalhai. By the way, also, side fact, most of these most of the character names in, like, like Kryl and Una Kalhai are from...
Garland.
I'm sorry. Oh, Garland? Yeah, that's right, Garland.
Yeah, he's in a lot of games.
Yeah, so by that too. But trust me, there's gonna be so many episodes where we cover, like, we may even just cover one character because there's so much shit. Clearly, like, I have a weird theory, and it's not Warrior of Light theory, but I do have a weird theory that's gonna connect to I'm trying to keep face, but my neighbor is currently banging on something, and it's 8:30 at night, and I hear him banging. I know it's not picking up in the podcast, but it's loud as shit, and my dog is looking at me like, "What the fuck is going on?" So I have a theory that Una Kalhai, his dad, is someone we killed, maybe killed, in a certain dungeon that is 8 players long. Not kidding. He may have been, exploding, and there may have been a big guy, and he may have been the Garlean leader at one point. Just saying. I think that's his father. I think that maybe his dad was having a little drunk night, and he may have slept with an Ala Mhigan woman, and he had a bastard child.
So Jon Snow?
Yeah, I think
So we went from like 0 to full-on tinfoil hat conspiracy
yes, I
theory
think
there.
yes, Uno Kalhai is the Jon Snow. I'm sorry, but I think it's true. Uno Kalhai is Jon Snow.
That would make someone in our free company very happy with another Game of Thrones reference.
It would, but I don't like. I think it's more of because like I remember that in passing, like it's like I thought I saw somebody who was only a shadow of a man. Like that is not a fucking thing a kid says. Like that's like a deep fucking burn, and he knows him. He knows Garland. He's like, I know you. I know who you are. My father talked about you. I know what's going on here. I mean, and also we have to look at like what Garland like. Carrie, you've not done that quest, and I apologize, but like I need to talk. Like I need to get this out.
Go ahead.
So they do mention something, and it's something that we've talked about in the past. Garland mentions he's like I don't understand why the Eorzeans tried to stop us. Why wouldn't you want us to suppress the primal power? And Uno Kalheim makes mention, he's like, it's because nobody should have that sort of power under their control. It's like kindling to a fire. Like it's like just waiting for a spark to ignite. So us as the warrior, like it makes me think, I'm like, so and this is gonna be a real fucking tinfoil hattie. Let's just say, right? This is all I'm telling you. This is looping back. Give me a second. Well, let's just say, right? Tinfoil hats on.
Need to get one for next week.
Yeah, I don't care. Carrie, I apologize for ruining anything for you. I really do.
Take off your headset, quick.
Yeah. So, yeah, he may want to. So we all know here, except for Carrie, we all know that the Minfilia is now the voice of Heidelin. Heidelin's running out of power. She's currently dying, so to speak. Like she is one disastrous thing away from like being dead. Who's to say that Zodiark isn't like there's no way that like she's gonna get like Heidelin's gonna have her power given back to her. I have a feeling that Heidelin may die, like legit fucking die. Like hear me out.
Well, we've had everyone else die so far, so
So I mean, but terrible shit keeps happening. Like we killed a dragon, big whoop, but that I don't think that dragon's really in Heidelin's plans because that really wasn't Heidelin's plans. Like Heidelin's the Earth Mother, so I have this like weird theory that maybe Zodiark has been involved this whole time. Maybe
that would make a lot of sense.
Maybe Heidelin is so weak, and then the fact that the Warriors of Darkness are showing up is that Zodiarks are only getting stronger as Heidelin's getting weaker. All right, I think Carrie, but if you put your headset back on, he can't headset. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, good. Come back. So
I'm back.
yeah, good. So I wish he kind of part of me wants him to know that, but I don't think he
Well,
should.
maybe we'll have to go run
Don't
through
tell me.
Anti-Tower and everything,
Yeah,
and then
start running
next
through
week.
shit.
So there's that. There's my like Uno Kalha. I don't think really is that important because they kind of made it a side quest.
well, he's definitely a side quest, but so is what's her name?
Yes.
What is her name?
Alfie's sister.
Oh,
yeah.
Alize?
Yeah, her. She's basically been in side quests as well, and she did the side quest to unlock the original Binding Coil stuff as well, right? And this guy's now like unlocking all of the trials and stuff that we've been doing lately.
I don't know.
It's like minor important character, but minor important character. Like you never know here.
Do you think we're slowly just rebuilding new Scions? Like we're just gathering new people and be like, yo, like shit is going down. We just need some help.
I don't think we've had a new Scion yet,
No,
and
I
we're
don't-
still
yeah,
the latest
we
Scion.
do. Yeah.
Are we though? I mean, like
Who else has joined?
technically the little one, Kryle.
Cryle.
Kryle's still a student of the other group there,
I don't
or
know.
teacher or
I
whatever.
don't know.
She's not
We'll
officially
talk about
one
Cryle
yet.
later. Let's not.
We will talk about Kryle later.
She's as much a Scion as Matoya is a Scion, and that's not happening.
Matoy would be dope as a Scion. What are you talking
She
about?
would be. I'm not saying that she wouldn't be awesome, but I don't see her ever willingly joining the Scions.
It's true. Anyway, All right, so
Donkatron, don't tell Nanamo.
Kryle is my second boo. Kryle's my boo as well. I gotta give it up. I may not like a lot of Lalafels, but damn, Kryle's just like I'd hang out with Kryle. She just seems chill as shit. She's so cool. She's got little cat eyes. I love it. Don't tell Nanamo. Don't tell Nanamo. That's Kryle's your side girl. Nanamo's the main squeeze. Totally lost track about like where I was going with like the Warriors of Darkness. Warriors of Darkness.
Where we go? Yeah, Warriors of Darkness, Warriors of Light.
Yeah. So we spent like I'm a little confused now. Like we've always had like the like all right. So far, not saying that the story's confusing because I think the Dragon Song War was the main focus. I just have no flipping fucking idea where we're going. 3.4 to 3.5. Like I had a theory that we're going back to Ul'dah to fix the shit that's going on over there because there is still stuff going on in Ul'dah, and that would make sense to take us to Ala Mhigo if we're going to Ala Mhigo, which I think we're going to Ala Mhigo. But I don't know, like there's so many. Here's the thing. There are so many story threads, like they just dropped seeds into so many little things. Like I don't know, I felt like A Realm Reborn was very focused. Like we knew what we were doing and where we were going with that story. Like, all right, here it is. Boom. Off the cart. You're a warrior light. Doing it, getting in, working it up, level up. Now you're a paladin or whatever now. So you're going to keep going. What? Primals, Ifrit, woo! Scions, no way. Man, I got to go fight Titan. He's tough. Better go make some cheese. Fucking Brave Flocks. And then you're wait, no, it gets better. Because then, then you're like...
Okay. I'm pretty sure that at some point, and I'm sorry to interrupt because I really want you to continue that. I'm really sure that we need to do a Final Fantasy XIV abridged video.
Done.
Yeah.
Yes. Got it. You got it. We'll do that. So, boom. All right, cool. Keep going. Guess what? We find Cid. Holy shit. Airship? No way. Run a shit dungeon. Go through that dungeon. Get out of that dungeon. Guess what? You need some parts if we're going to go fight that fucking storm. No problem, Captain. I got you. Go around with your little buddy Alphino and you go find some parts. Come back. You're like, guess what? We're ready. We're going to fly into the fucking storm. Go meet the sexiest goddamn primal in the world because we named our guild after her and she's fantastic. Her name's Gruda. And then you go and you slain her and then a big fucking robot shows up and then you fight all three primals. What the fuck is that nonsense? That's crazy business. Then a big robot's like, don't worry, and sucks them up like their Hi-C Ecto Cooler, which is, by the way, I got a 10-pack in my fridge. It's fantastic. You go do all that shit. It's very focused, and then next thing you know, your fucking main squeeze Minfilia is taken by these assholes, and then she's captured, and you're like, all right, I got this. I'm the fucking warrior light. Boom! I'm breaking into this bitch. Yeah, like yeah, and then a real quick though, hey warrior, like he takes some time to deliver a ton of shit. No problem, I got you, buddy. I'm going that way anyway. So you head over there, you deliver the shit, you drop off the letter, and you go to Mordona. You're like, hey, what's up? And like, hey, listen, the guys have been over that way, no problem. All right, fine. We go over there, and you're like, hey, Minfilia, I got you, bae. All right, you go in, you capture her, you fucking figure out, you make friends with the robot, and then you fucking Biggs and Wedge. You're like, no problem, if you're friends with the robot now, and then you ride it as a mount. Boom, mount saves your ass. 3 times? 3 times that mount saves your ass. Seems about right. So you go in, you get her, you get out. Perfect. Minfilia saved. Perfect. And then you go on. And then what? You meet Moonbrita. Moonbrita is awesome. One of the few Rogadin ladies who doesn't have like truck hands and shit, and like she's kind of cool, and it's like, or she's like sexually like into fucking Urianger, which is like weird because Urianger is like the guy in the hood, and like he's kind of like the Batman of the fucking group. He's always broody and shit and trying to be smart like an asshole. So it's fine. So you still know where you're going, right? You're still like, I'm a warrior light. We're fighting primals. That's the fucking deal. So you go and do that some more, right? You're like, hey, guess what? There's a Moogle primal. We're like, Moogle primal. Ah, shucks. That sounds like bularchy. And you go and find out there's a fucking Great King Mooglemog, so you go kick his ass, right? So you're still the warrior light kicking a Moogle's ass. That's fine. No problem. Do that. Great song. We keep moving. Boom. Where are we at? Leviathan. Leviathan. You go fight Leviathan. That's a big fucking water dragon. And he's fun. You go do that. Get out of that. Keep going. Right? And finally, after all that bullshit... You finally learned about Korthus, the fucking north. You start learning about more shit, and then you learn about the Great Ysayle and Shiva, and you go fight Shiva, and it's fantastic. And then you come back, and then you do couple more dungeons, and then you come back, and then you do the fucking Steps of Fate. And Steps of Fate is god awful, and it's great. It's great when you have our guild in there doing it for our guild people, because guess what? We know the fucking fight, and guess what? We get that shit done. We get it down before the fucking third gate, and if you can't get
Whether
it down
we want
before
to or not.
yeah, right. I don't give a shit. If we get it down before the third gate, you're doing a good job. By the way, when you get in there, please take some control and just say, "Hey, listen, we got cannons. Who's gonna get the spike? It takes 2 seconds, and guess what? It's gonna make the fucking run so much easier, and everyone's gonna bonus because everyone's new in that fight. Otherwise, you never run it because no one's ever doing it. So you go do that shit, right? Then you come back, you watch a couple death scenes. It's all tis boo hoo, sad, sad. You see Nanamo kick it. She's like, "Hey, just come drink some wine with me." And you're like, "All right, boo, I'm coming." And then you sit down, and you're like, "You're cute." And then like all of a sudden she takes a sip of some winey wine, and then you're like, and then you fucking get busted in on, and it's like, "What'd you do?" And you're like, "It wasn't me." It looks terrible, right? And all of a sudden like you escape with your friends, and they're all like, "No, we got this," and you're like, "No." Yida and Papamo stay back. He's like, "Well," it's like, "if I had to die, it's gonna be with you." And Yida's like, "I wouldn't have it any other way, Papamo." Fucking, they're dope. All yeah, Donk's loving this rant. Then you go fucking Yustola, your homegirl, by the way. She was with you for a long fucking time. Yustola is my homegirl for fucking life. And then Thancred, who's that smooth motherfucker. And like these two get fucking caved in on. And you're running, and it's just you, and it's Alfie, and Minfilia. And you're like, fuck, she didn't do shit this whole fucking time, and I'm running with her. Thancred could at least come. We left her back there at the fucking cave-in. Swap her out for Yustola. At least she's useful. Minfilia just got captured a bunch of fucking times. Fuck that bullshit. She's like, "Wait a minute, I just heard a crystal in my head. I gotta run back and go die too." Alright, no problem. You get out, you fucking escape with Alphino, and you meet Pippin. Pippin, the bombest second fucking Lalafell in this, actually, third bombest fucking Lalafell in this game. Fucking Kryl, Nanamo, Pippin. Pippin, the little bull, as I'm gonna call him. Fucking and you go and you meet the cart guy from the fucking very beginning of this game's come back. By the way, if you didn't pay attention to that, you missed that on that. That's a nice little Easter egg they threw back in. And he was like, "Hey, it's you." Guess what? I'm taking you to fucking Korthos. We're going to Heavensward. No problem, Captain. You get to Heavensward and people are like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't like outsiders in our town." And you're like, "Well, I don't." Go do some shit. All right, you go do some shit. And then you have to go break out one-armed bandit type fucking what's his name? One-armed bull again, Robon. You go break.
How did you forget his name? Come on.
It's fine. I call him One-Hand Jack now. It's fine. And then you go fucking escape his ass out of jail. You come back and you're like, "Do you guys still trust me?" You're like, "No." All right, you go to Foundation. So you go to Foundation and you go fucking trace through the things, and then you're like, "Hey, listen, we're gonna have a mission where we try to fucking find Yssail and try to break good with dragons." But then you have fucking the fucking Azure Dragoon who's like, "Dragons ain't shit but fucking tricks and bitches," and you're like, "What? Why are we no?" Yssail's like, "No, they're cool. We just gotta be friends with them because I have a dragon lady and like the love lady of a dragon. It's fine." And then you go and you do all this shit and you talk to dragons, and Race Felger's like kind of a dick and he's like, "No, I don't think so." And he's like, "Wait a minute, Race Felger, why are you missing an eye? Why is you missing an eye, Race Felger? I noticed that the first time I saw you, you didn't have but one fucking eye, you sneaky, cheeky bitch." So you go around, you're like, "Fine." He says no, so you're like, "I guess we're gonna have to go fight Tiamat." So you go fight the consort of the big bad dragon. You never kill somebody's like lady you have sex with, because we did, because we sure fucking did that. Warriors are like killing dragons. Look at us. Fucking, so I just want to point out that in this Dragon Song War, we killed Vishap. We killed tons of ancillary mini dragons. We came back. We killed Nidhogg twice now. And all of a sudden, we're like, "Hey, guess what? Warriors of Darkness." What happened? Where the Warriors of Light? And I don't. And then add the thing that I said earlier that he didn't hear. No wonder shit's gone a little crazy, and we're supposed to get. I don't know what happened.
Yes.
What was the question again?
What? Why are we Warriors of Light if we do all this terrible shit? I mean, I get the primal thing, and that was cool. But we do some terrible shit. I know I skipped some things.
Something.
I did. I mean, I may have left out Midgarsimer and shit like that. And he's like, I must test you. And he's like, and then he took our power away from talking to a crystal. So, by the way, how powerful do you have to be that you can take a power away from talking to a crystal? Like, that's pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah.
So does that?
Well dead.
Yeah, right. Well, also, it's a little like things he doesn't know, but it makes sense because spoilers. Anyway, Warriors of Light. Anyone that listens to this audio wise is rather gonna die laughing or be like, I don't know what the fuck I just listened to for 10 minutes. um, yeah, like and Dong Trong got it right. We didn't even get rid of the I correctly. We as in the future. Yeah,
Yeah, we messed up.
yeah, we fucked up. Eon done fucked up now.
Maybe the Warriors of Darkness have to come fix that.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
No, I'm based on spoilers of what you haven't seen. That doesn't seem likely.
Shit!
You gotta
Excuse
catch
my
up to see
language.
what's going on. But yeah,
I
no.
know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for anybody that misses that rant. Because I think we have people in here listening that are like, "Fuck, this is." By the way, give us a follow because I will fucking rant again by meantime necessary. Because I will.
That was a great rant.
It is because like we spend all this time like listening and doing good, and like we have this fucking clear pointed out like this is what you're doing, this is where the story's going. But then there's some questionable shit in there, right? Like there is some fucking just we're basically the Avengers, where it's like, all right, no, it's fine. We saved New York, but we may have caused like fucking 8 billion times.
We're the
damage.
go-go posing rangers.
Where they go, yeah, we're fucking up more than helping. Yeah, we're all Hulks. We're all Hulks in the world of Eorzea. Like, there's not even a fucking Captain America, or they're all just like raging beasts. They're all like, we got it. My character's always silent. He's like, can't. He just is, yes. Makes sense. I feel like I just grunt and scream and go, yay, sometimes.
No, you have to do the nod.
My character just nods. But I also wear the giant helmet from fucking what's his face, Odin. So like it looks hilarious when I look like this guy that like I shouldn't be here. Like it shouldn't. Well, guys, I took a beautiful segment on the history of Warrior Light and then somehow mutilated it and murdered it. And it came out of it. We came out of this alive. I will say this: I've played Final Fantasy since I was a young tyke. The games have always interested me. We and Shin and I were on my other show. We were on Loot Table talking about 3.3 specifically, and my other co-hosts had some interesting opinions about Final Fantasy, and I think it's one of those games where if you're in tune with other MMOs, if you're currently in lust or in love with another MMO, if maybe Final Fantasy you won't get it. But I say take step out from your comfort zone and play it through, see it to the end. I've been playing it long enough to make that rant, but at the same time, I can make that rant and still have enough love and passion for this game to say that it's worth your time. That any game company that gives a second chance, and I've said this tons of times, probably on this show and my other show, and even if you hear me in chat, in my chat channel, and you're hanging out with me, not many MMOs get a second chance, and if they do, it's free to play, and it's not worth your time. It's usually worth shit after that. Not all of them, but the majority of them. You know, it's a beautiful game. It will always continue to be a beautiful game. I think a lot of people tend to give it shit because they just don't grasp the concept of it, or they just like you have to. It's a new take on an old style of gaming, and they're not afraid to try something new. It may not always work, but they're consistent in their storytelling. They're consistent in how they develop their story. The Warriors of Light is just the beginning for us in the history of Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy XIV. If you like this, let us know. You can email us. And Shin, what is our email address? Because I always screw it up.
You can email us at show@maelstromradio.com.
There you go. show@maelstromradio.com, because I would have screwed that up.
I could have made it bold and like bright colors because it is in our show note.
Holy shit, is it? Holy crap, it is! Look at me doing terrible show promotion. All right, so you guys, I promise you we will be up on iTunes this week. Like, we actually are on our aggregate. We just have to get the RSS feed figured out. We have our site. We have maelstromradio.com. You can go find us out at. We have our we still have our site up. We have our podcast hosted, so we could even just make blogs, and so if you want the audio version later, you can always go to our website. We will get those posted up as soon as we can. We have the podcast hosted. We just need to get the RSS feed and feed it out to iTunes and Stitcher and Google and all the other lovely places. Our Twitter handles are around us. You can find me at Flatus. You can find Shinter at Shinter. You can find Carrie at Super Entertained, all on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. It's at Maelstrom Radio. It's facebook.com/Maelstrom Radio. And you can find us at Twitter at Maelstrom_radio if you want to just talk to the show. Mostly that's me. Mostly.
I pop in.
He does. And then we'll get Carrie added in there as well. So if he wants to pop in and say something, he can. You're following us right now. If you're watching this live, you're here at twitch.tv Maelstrom /Maelstrom Radio. If you're here right now, I would love it if you did us a favor and you hit that follow button. That'll let you know when we go live here on Mondays, and we are making an effort to stream more on this channel. I've been working diligently to try to get Final Fantasy XI working. So I got it up and running, and I got my graphics set, and that looks great. To the best of an old game's ability. I just need to get my controller set up because some pro tip: Final Fantasy XI uses the number pad to move your character, and as soon as I started playing that, I wanted to throw my keyboard across the room and be like, "Fuck this shit." So I will get that working, and most likely you'll see us stream Final Fantasy 14 here as well. You may see us stream Final Fantasy S type games here, maybe Final Fantasy 15 when that comes out. I'm not sure, but we're doing that so you guys have something to watch here and you get to know us a little bit better. If it's not me streaming, it could be Carrie, because we can any one of us can log in. So we all have different schedules, which kind of works out for this channel because we can always be streaming almost nonstop. Not 24 hours a day, maybe 24 hours a day. I'm not sure yet. Thank you all again. I do appreciate you coming out and joining us, and I appreciate everyone that's eventually going to listen to the audio version of this. Thank you so much for downloading and following us and accepting us into the world of Final Fantasy communities. And I recently watched a video, and we're gonna say our goodbyes. And first of all, do you guys have anything to add to the Warrior Light, or are you just gonna let me? Like, was that rant good enough for both of you?
Oh,
I can't top that.
Yeah. No,
All right, good.
you did it.
All right. Donktrot 15. I do not Facebook. That's fine, Donkey. You have us on Twitter. So 15 is not an MMO. It's just a single player game. It's something that you may see as just stream when we're not playing Final Fantasy 14. So like early morning weekends, if I'm not in game on the MMO, usually I take like a couple hours to play one of my other games, and it's usually something solo. So I usually wake up and like I could probably stream that and just chill. That's an easy
We might have
thing.
stream parties of that one because I think all of us are kind of interested in that.
Yeah. So there is that. I may have to hold off until after FanFest for that one. So you guys may be streaming it before me, and I'll just be like, I want it. So I may have to wait for that one. That's fine though. But I do want to say one thing. I did recently watch a video. It was posted on the forums, and it was about the community, and I wanted to speak on that real quick. And I'm not going to share the video because I think it's asshole. I don't know. Like I don't blame the guy. I don't blame the guy for making the video, because some of our FC members have come across this as well. Don't be a dick. Like, I don't know how I could be any more clear about that. Don't be a dick. Like, just don't do it. I've played enough games in my life and online and stuff like that, and you could be a total asshole, and I get it. Like, it's the internet, and like there's anonymity, and you don't see me, therefore you can't hurt me. But don't be a dick. Like, just don't do it. Like, it's easier to be nice than it is to be mean. Like if you think someone's not doing their job correctly in an MMO, teach them. And if you don't know, maybe you don't have room to speak. It's that just that easy. Like if you're saying you're a shit tank, if you're a tank, tell him what he's doing wrong and then try to help him. If they come back and say like, "Well, you're not paying my sub," or like, then they just don't want to learn. That's understandable. Then you're just if you actually attempted to help. I get that. That I get. Like I don't have patience for people that are not willing to learn. What I don't have patience for is on the other side is also people that are not willing to listen and don't be a dick's my number one in games. Yeah, use your words. That's the biggest thing that I can say is that use your words. Be a kind-hearted person. Show respect. Like that's the reason why our FC is growing is because I've said it before. Like I don't care about numbers. I care about quality people. And Carrie has gone dark. All of a sudden, shit. Is it Stranger Things in your house? What the fuck's going on right
Oh god!
now?
I might have tabbed over to Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, in Guild Chat, it's a free for all. It is in our FC. Like it really is a free for all. Like I don't really care. Like we talk shit to each other. It's fine. Like that's what we do. But at the same time, it's all jokes. We care about each other. We worry. Like if somebody comes in like, hey dude, like we're just playing. How many times this week has there been? Hey, we had somebody drop from a dungeon. Can someone pop in and help us? Like we've instantly said, no problem.
So many.
Yeah, right. Like there's been at any time where like just be helpful. Just get like just. And I've said this on Moogle Run Radio. Like if you want to be the change in the community and you don't see a change, start being the change. Like be the person that initiates it. Like I said, you don't need to have the crown next to your name to be a person that can help teach and learn in this game and be nice. Because eventually, exactly, Donkey Tron said it's all love. So I think it's all love. I think we'll end on that on this episode 9 of Maelstrom Radio. We're almost at 10. We're almost in the double digits, and we're going to just keep moving forward with this. Always getting better, always striving for more, and always proving to our great leader, Merle Webb, that we're not total fuck-ups here. So... For my co-host, Carrie, for my co-host, Shinter, I'm Flatus. This has been Maelstrom Radio. Until next time, until C swallows all, we will see you in a week. Peace!